Hi there, it's your favorite Twinful twin, Tasha. And I was contemplating thoughts about the language that we have in our mind when we transition from having a living twin to our twin passing away to ultimately being twinful. What I know for sure is that prior to our twin passing, typically we do not have a conversation with our twin about what is it going to look like if they were to leave or be gone. Or we often say, I can't imagine my life without you. I have no idea what that would be like. I don't even want to think about it. And we avoid the topic altogether. Understandably so. The idea of somebody dying is not always at all ever a fun topic to have, to discuss. And so when our twin does pass and we face that agonizing grief, we develop a language. We attempt to describe what it feels like to go through the journey without them. And there are lots of things that we say to ourselves that perpetuates and feeds the absolute anguish that we experience as twins, especially new lost twins. Normal, completely normal. It absolutely is normal for that to happen. And so as we're progressing through the journey and we are acclimating to no longer having our twin in the physical, we have an opportunity to become very, very authentic, not only with ourselves, but with the ones that we love. And we have an opportunity to do some significant self-evaluation. Because prior to our twin passing, we didn't really have to do that. There was no reason to. Our twin was still here. So now that they're no longer in the physical, wow, there's a huge, huge opportunity for assessment, for analysis, for a chance to do a level of discovery that we never had a reason to have to do before now. For every twin, it is everybody is on their own journey. Okay, so there's no time limit. There's no predetermined path. This isn't something that is like, there isn't a handbook on how to deal with being a twinless twin, and there is not a handbook on how to navigate that next season in your life. And so essentially what we're trying to do now is figure out a way that we can provide support, love, and encouragement for those twins that are in the middle of their new phase of being twinless. And how do you effectively do your self-analysis, your self-evaluation? How do you tap into your eternal connection to your twin that existed, by the way, before you were born? Okay? And will continue long after you lose your physical body. That eternal soul connection that you have with your twin, powerful. It's super phenomenal. Amazing. So what's the language? What are we saying? Are we saying to ourselves, we'll never be whole again? Well, you keep saying that to yourself, then that will be your truth. Are we saying that a part of us died with our twin? That absolutely will help perpetuate pain. Guaranteed. So how can we bring those words that we're saying to ourselves into our consciousness? Like, pay attention to what we're saying. To not just allow ourselves to be governed by the emotions that we're feeling in our body, but to give ourselves permission to go into our higher self space, that soul space, that eternal space that came from heaven, connecting to our twin that happens to be there right now, and allowing that higher self connection to guide our thoughts. So one of the things I was sharing with Lisa, many of you know Lisa's my number one she was having a really tough day the other day, and I could tell, I'm like, okay, you're feeling a lot of pain in your chest, right? And she kind of validated that, nodded her head, and I said, so there are times when I have felt that, and I've thought to myself, oh my God, it hurts so bad. I feel so lost and alone, and I'm struggling. And those were the words. Those were the words that I said. And there came a time when I made a conscious choice. And when I felt that pain in my chest, which is where it typically initiates for me, is in my chest. It might initiate somewhere else for you, but that's where I feel it, is like my heart. It literally feels like my heart is getting crushed. Okay? And so as I would feel that feeling, I would think to myself, initially, I would go through that initial, oh my gosh, this is terrible. I'm in so much pain. I'm struggling so much. And I consciously chose to envision in my mind's eye my twin placing her hand on my chest and pressing on my chest. And as I would agonize and be like, I can't, I'm so heartbroken, I'm struggling so much, she would press harder. And the more that I focused on the pain, the more pressure I felt in my chest. When I consciously decided, I made a conscious choice. It wasn't, I have to make this clear, okay? This wasn't something that came naturally to me. This wasn't something that I knew how to do, okay? It wasn't easy initially. It ultimately became easier, but initially it was not easy. And so what I did was I envisioned in my mind my twin placing her hand on my chest and pressing. And then I gave myself permission to consciously say to her, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. And as I took my deep breaths and oxygenated my brain and made the conscious choice to connect on a very, very deep level with my twin, what I initially perceived as pain became our eternal connection. I translated it. I rewired my brain. I turned it into something different. So here's the question I want to ask you. What experience do you want to have? You have to decide. You get to decide what experience you have. Now, you can't control your emotions, okay? I get it. I've been twinless for 41 years. Trust me, I get it. It's not like I don't know how you're feeling. I do. I absolutely do. And I spent 36 of my 41 years agonizing over it. It wasn't easy for me at first to figure this out. Like it took a bit for me to figure it out. But once I did, that's when it became easy. What became easy was when I realized how much power I had over my journey. I was initially so impacted by the world around me and by everything that everybody was telling me and telling me how I was supposed to feel and how I should feel and how I was going to navigate this and how I would never feel whole again and I would always feel separate from her and all that stuff, all the garbage that I had in my head. And I had to make a conscious choice to clean house. Okay? And when those negative thoughts came into my mind, I made a conscious choice to think differently. And so when those horrible feelings would come, I would say to myself, okay, how do I want to feel about this? Because what I'm feeling right now, I don't want to feel, okay? This is challenging. I don't want to feel this way for the rest of my life. So how do I want to feel? I want to feel connected. I want to feel that eternal connection with my twin. So when that deep ache comes into my chest, I say to myself and to my twin, I feel you. That became my mantra, and I would say, I feel you, over and over and over. And you know what it did for me? It transformed my experience. When I would miss her, I would say to myself, I feel you. I would pause, and I would say to myself, I feel you. The only limitation between me and my twin is my own sense of lack in my little brain. When I've decided that I'm miserable and I'm going to feel horrible for the rest of my life, okay? Well, that's my brain. That's a limitation within my brain. So, I make different choices. I choose to think differently. There's a whole lot of twins out there that are absolutely not ready for this message, and I get it. I understand. Again, I spent 36 years struggling with it. I don't expect everybody to buy into this new messaging right now. When you're in the middle of your grief and you're struggling with pain, I get that you just need to hunker down and deal with that in that moment. But what I am telling you is when you're ready to move forward, a key first step is making a conscious decision about how you want to think about your situation. Thoughts are powerful. Your words are powerful. If you're saying something that doesn't feel good and you don't like it, then speak a different language. Find something to say that would help you actually feel better. It's okay, you can do that. I'm giving you permission. It's okay, you can do that. Okay? And you might be amazed at how much easier it becomes to navigate your current state of existence. Our twins reveal themselves to us all the time. So many signs that they give us. Their love is eternal and immense and phenomenal. And frankly, it's not just our twins. It's anybody that has passed on. This experience doesn't just happen for us twins. We have it in a unique way, but dealing with the people that have passed on and how we talk to ourselves about how we're feeling and how we process those emotions, it's powerful. It's powerful for you to claim your own power that was given to you. You are whole. You are a whole person with your own body and your own soul. And that is still very much here. And if you're watching this video, you are still very much here, okay? So, let's claim our power as a whole person with this incredible vessel that's got a soul that's eternally connected to our twins forever. Let's transmute that pain that we feel in our body into the connection that we were born with. Oh God, doesn't that feel amazing? Just think about it. You had that connection before you were born. You came into the womb together. Your bodies were created together. You exchanged this energy. And then, bam, you came into this world. And all the craziness that happens with a mom that gives birth to twins. And the excitement within your family, and there's the twins, and all the different experiences that come from being twins, dressing alike, not dressing alike, having rhyming names, not having rhyming names, all the things, all the complexities. How cool is that? To be able to still tap into that, even though they've passed on, that you still have that body, baby. You still got that soul. Hang on to that connection. Don't let anybody take that away from you. Don't let the world convince you that you're no longer connected. No, sorry, honey. It's not the way this works. It's not the way this is going to work for me. And it doesn't have to work that way for you either. You decide. You decide what kind of life you want to live. Okay? I'll be here to cheer you on. I'll be here to love you and guide you as much as you allow me. I love all my twins very, very much. Find your twin power. You still got it. I'll talk to y'all again soon. Love you.